good, everybody? It is Thursday, July 20th, 2023. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not even close. I'm your boy, the coach. Oh, and great producing just moments ago. Rory McIlroy, as everybody knows, my favorite golfer, just teed off at the Open Championship. Scotty Scheffler like a beacon in the night. -1, he just got done. A lot of things to talk about. But we're coming off a ho-hum day at the brand. 6-7, lost a little juice, more X's than what we would have liked. Not a great day, but it has been a great year for us, and we need your help. We already know we're the best betting show in America. Nah, the world. But we want you to help us show the world. There is the link. There is the QR code. Take 5 seconds, if you don't mind. Give us a vote. Let us move into the finals, and then we will dominate in the finals as well. But we got to do first things first, so help us out there. Now, you know, on Thursdays, hell, every day, I bring my absolute very best. So here are the stars of the show. You know them. You love them. And real quick, counselor, if we were to bring up the early wedge graphic and we look at the leaderboard for the Open Championship as it currently sits, what would we find, sir?
Well, we'd find a lot of our picks are doing well, finishing positions, outrights, things of that nature. I mean, Wyndham Clark at 60-1, he's only 2 shots off the lead. But really cool, we have kind of a first-round leader sweat because at the top of the board, we have Tommy Fleetwood, who I believe was 40-1 on the early wedge. Got to go back and check that number. Maybe it was 35. But if he stays there, listen, let's hope the afternoon gets a little tougher. He'd be splitting, but that's a nice split to have. Let's get another first-round leader.
I did not have an amateur on my board as tying and ruining that bet or splitting, but that's what we have. That's the Open Championship. That's the Open Championship. M-Squared is here. Danny Brasco is here. Gentlemen, we have no time to waste. Let's get right into it. By the way, Sia, how many days till the NFL season?
Oh, that would be 49.
49 days, so it's never too early to start our NFL futures. By the way, we're going to start our NFL futures episodes the second and the third week of August. We'll have the full schedule out on social media. So today, we're starting with the NFC North. And M-Squared, I'm coming to you first. The Lions, 9.5. The Vikings, 8.5. The Packers, no more Aaron Rodgers, 7.5. And the Bears at 7.5, the Fighting Justin Fields. If we were to pick a team here, a total that you like, where are you going?
Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I do not like the Minnesota Vikings at all. I like the under 8.5 here on this win. This team largely overperformed last year, easily the luckiest team in the NFL. Now they've got a relatively difficult schedule with a lot of unknown in their division, which is why this number might look attractive to people. They still have, though, on this schedule, the Eagles, Chargers, Chiefs, 49ers, on the road at Denver, and the Cincinnati Bengals. They will be underdogs in every single one of those games. If they split anything with Green Bay, anything with Detroit, who has certainly improved once again, I think this team will consistently find themselves in very competitive games, but I think they'll come up short a little more than they did last season. So I actually like the under here on the Vikings.
So we start with a fade. Little dissension in the ranks too, Mikey. Apparently some news coming out of Minnesota about last year and Kirk Cousins not throwing it to Justin Jefferson when he should have. Stop it. Move on. M-Squared, as always, thank you. Now, Danny Brasco, you know you're one of my absolute very favorites on social media, win or lose. But today we're talking about win totals. Are we fading or following one of these numbers that you are looking at on your screen?
Coach, well, first of all, I got to say, I've been loving Sia's NFL countdown. We are 49. How many Jamie Moyer days?
Oh, snap.
Old school slow baller for you guys. Jamie
He's still
Moyer
pitching.
Reference? Yeah, he's still pitching. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably he's going to pitch till he's 100. In any case, I love the case that, and by the way, if you guys can guess in the comments, I see firing away about the jersey. If you can guess what jersey this is, I'll reveal at the end of my segment towards the end of the show. See you in the comments. But I like the case that Mike just made a lot against the Vikings. And for that reason, I'm going towards the over for the Detroit Lions. I picked them to win this division at plus 130 on Katie Mox's podcast. And man, I think they're going to be even better than last year. They had a great draft. Look, they may have lost Jamal Williams. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs right out of Alabama. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to add to that defense, hard-nosed defense. Bring back Alex Anzalone. And it's another year under Dan Campbell. I really just love the coach, love the way they play for him. They're slated to win this division. I really think they can do so. And I'm looking at 12 to 13 games I feel are winnable for them. So over 9.5, I'll take the Detroit Lions.
Taylor in the chat said, I can't wait for the NFL. MLB is starting to get a little bit stale. You know what, Taylor? At this time of the year, it starts to do that. We feel it too. We're here every single day, unlike any other shows that are on hiatus still. Name one. They're not on the air. All right. I like taking shots at people because they never come back at us. They don't want the smoke. They don't want any of it. Danny Brasco, as always, solid. Now, counselor. I'm looking at 4 teams right now. And most people that may have come into the brand this summer may not know that NFL is your bread and butter. What do we got?
First of all, we got a chat that really knows what they're doing because we have some correct guesses, and I'll leave it to Danny on that one. But I'm like shocked at how many people knew that right off the bat because I did not. Okay, so first of all, I want to say this. I agree with Mikey when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings that we're going to see some regression there, but I do like what they did with their secondary, but I also agree that their schedule is really tough. I like them as maybe an outside shot. You can get them still at like plus 300 to win the division, and I think that's reasonable, especially since 2 of their last 3 games are against the Detroit Lions. But here, I'm going to go with the chalk here. I'm going to go with Danny. I'm going to take the Lions. I will say this. The first 2 games for the Lions are losable. They're going to play Kansas City. They'll lose that one, and then they're home against Seattle, and they could very easily lose that one. But to Danny's point, and Mikey's, the schedule gets really, really good from there. Their next 5 games, Atlanta, Green Bay, Carolina, Tampa, Baltimore, and the Vegas Raiders. They could win 5 out of 6 of those and then really attack that win total. So I'm going to go with the Lions here reluctantly, but from a division standpoint, I might take some money because of the number on the Minnesota Vikings.
I will ask you again, for those of you watching at home, do you want to do the work? This is not just throw something against the wall. Look at the schedules. Compare. Contrast. That's what my crew does. Hashtag next level. Let's go. All right. Jeremy, welcome back. Says he's been in D.C. for a conference. He's missed the show for the last 4 days. What are you doing? Let's go. Now, speaking of what are you doing, where are we at? It is a busy, busy day. Where? Here.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reactions.
The largest final round comeback in Ford championship history. We're down to the final 4.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
Did I hear instant reaction? Did I hear analyzed greatness? Oh, well, let's look at the schedule today for CBS Sports HQ. That's exactly what we are doing. I will have live reaction to the Open Championship Round 1 on CBS Sports HQ at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we just talked NFL futures. I'm talking NFL futures in the 4 p.m. Eastern hour around 4:15. And then look at the crew showing up. Chip, M Squared, Buckets, Prop Stars. All in the 6 o'clock hour. Then at 8 o'clock, we're talking live betting. There is nobody better, period, than M Squared and Zach Attack when we're talking live betting. Only 3 baseball games in the evening, so we got to get specific, but they're my 2 very best. Now, it's time to play that very, very popular game that we love, Pick the Prop. So where are we going today? Oh, love this graphic. Peter Alonso, where were you last Monday night? Luis Robert Jr., where were you last Monday night? And Paul Goldschmidt, plus 400. I know where you were on Monday night. So, M Squared, I'm coming back to you, big boy. Where are we going today to the yard?
Quickly, because we have the fire alarm test again today, Coach. Paul Goldschmidt, plus 400. I like this particular matchup for him. I, as we will find out later in the show, am not a Marcus Stroman truther.
Wow, quite the tease. Quite the tease. Danny Brasco, talk to me.
Hard not to like Goldie at plus 400, so dialed in. But I'm going to go Luis Robert. Jose Quintana debuting for the Mets here, coming back from injury. I got the lefty-righty split. Maybe he has some woes in his debut start, so I'll take Robert.
Yesterday, by the way, speaking of the Cardinals, I did what I always preach not to do. I waited, and then I was busy. I was on a conference call. The Cardinals game started. They scored 4 in the first. Couldn't bet them. They end up winning. Damn it. Put them in when we tell you to put them in. Counselor, what are you putting in?
I agree with Danny here again. I'm going to go with Robert at plus 350. Quintana coming back off, being in the minors where he wasn't very good either. So let's see what happens in his first start here. I think Robert takes him deep.
All right. 3 of my absolute very best. I hope you have your paper. I hope you have your pencil because we're getting ready to do our board right here, right now, as soon as we hear from one more of our incredible partners.
When you're the FedEx Cup champion, your name's on this trophy forever. This is our season-long race. This is the sought-after trophy when we tee it up, the first event of the season that you think about.
3 tournaments with the world's best golfers battling for the tour's toughest trophy to win, the FedEx Cup. The playoffs begin August 12th on CBS.
Oh, a lot of you yesterday coming down on me for liking the music in that promo. I don't like it. I love it. Take that. Now, Mikey, I'm coming back to you real quick in the chat. Where is the question? How do you guys like the Braves today? From Dominic, on the road after D-backs took the first 2. Well, I believe the game is still at home, but they are playing at 12:20 p.m. Eastern time in just about 2 hours. Your thoughts, Mikey?
I'm going to be honest with you, Coach. I haven't looked at the game at all. When there were games that were on that early this morning, because I was up so late with golf, I did not run any simulations on any of the day games yet.
Full transparency. That's why I came to M Squared right there. If we don't do the work, then we don't give it to you. Thank you, Mikey. By the way, I don't know either, because the Braves right now, they were on fire. The last couple of days, they haven't been able to score, so maybe today's the day. There you go, Dominic. There's your lean, which wasn't even really a lean. All right. So since Mikey was up working on golf, and I'm going to be doing golf on HQ, and Danny Brasco is going to have a bounce back. He's going to hit that 18 parlay, and the counselor is just a counselor. I'm feeling good this morning. I feel like today's a special day, which means M Squared, if you don't mind, you know the drill, son! It doesn't matter if it starts in the middle of the night or Rory tees off right when we get on the air, because everybody knows I love Rory, but it doesn't matter because my guys, my crew, have you covered across the board. So, Mikey, if you don't mind, please. Give it to me.
All right. Major League Baseball. I mentioned Marcus Stroman. We are betting against him here. I think he's overvalued in the betting market. So I like the St. Louis Cardinals here. Plus 110 at Wrigley Field. Look, Stroman, I look at his pitch arsenal, right? He loves to throw a sinking fastball. If you've watched me for years, you know that we love to look at the actual and expected data. The actual data on this pitch, the weighted on base average, 270, makes him one of the better starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. However, when we look at the expected data, which is profiling every batted ball and comparing it to every other batted ball in Major League Baseball, that expected number balloons all the way up to 330, making him below Major League Baseball average. The reality is probably somewhere in the middle, but he continues to be priced like a legitimate ace. The issue is here, it's a sinking fastball. We're getting into the point of the season where the weather is warmer. That means the air density is lower. What that does on a sinking fastball, it causes it to not sink as much. It may only affect it by 3/4 of an inch, but that's a huge deal when you're hitting a 3-inch baseball with a 3-inch bat here. Used to leaving. Chief likes this play a lot. He's going to nominate this as the dog of the day as well. I love the Cubs, though. I love the Cardinals here. I make them minus 108.
You cannot make that up. For those of you that are brand new, and by the way, for the person in the chat trying to call me out, the Braves scored 1 and 3, 2 of the last 3 games. Yes, I know they scored 13, but I was correct. 2 of the last 3 games, less than 4 runs. Stop it. Now, for those of you brand new to the brand, if Chief barks during a take, it means he loves it. And most of the time, Chief is correct. And it is a dog of the day. Can't make it up. Mikey is always. Chief is always. Thank you very much. Now, Danny Brasco, we are getting into the heat of the summer. And we've had some really good cards the last few weeks in the PFL and also in the UFC. Last week, though, the main event came out of nowhere. Holly Holm was seemingly in control until she wasn't. But we got to turn the page to this week. What do we got?
Huge fight card this Saturday, Coach, coming from UFC London. And you guys know I love getting jacked up and fired up to give these takes, very impassioned about the fights I bet. I couldn't be more excited about my favorite fighter headlining this card. It's Tom Aspinall taking on Marcin Tybura. And man, I'm really, really enamored with this guy because I saw his debut and I declared him instant future heavyweight champion. I think he's well on his way to that, and he'll do so with a win here. I'm going to take him by submission at plus 380 in a spicy take here. Now, his opponent has been knocked out before. And look, he trains boxing with the Fury family, so his hands are crisp, his movement is great, but he's a longtime jiu-jitsu coach, and the knockout is minus 150. We may see him hurt Tybura on the feet, but the club and sub is very live. So if it gets to grappling exchanges where Tybura will probably look to take it, Aspinall is live for this submission here at plus 380. I think everyone will look to bet the knockout. I'll go submission. You could hedge it and guarantee yourself profit as long as he finishes him, maybe 1 unit on the knockout, half a unit on the submission, and lock in either way. If he finishes him, the finish is minus 360. So I think Aspinall's getting it done in a big way. Next up, another big underdog that I think the play is to bet him by submission. It's Paul Craig, submission ace, taking on another grappler, Andre Muniz. And he's going to walk right into his wheelhouse. Paul Craig is a plus 185 dog, but you're giving him another grappler. And the way Paul Craig gets it done is grappling or bust. He's submission or he's going to get finished. I think he has a great chance here. So don't bet him plus 185. Bet him by submission plus 380. And let's go right back to Tom Aspinall. He's a big favorite, but parlay him with Joel Alvarez for a minus 119 two-legger here. Alvarez is facing another Brit, and a lot of time you want to back all the hometown fighters. This is one I think you should fade. He came in as a kickboxer. Now he's a wrestler. Very mixed results, and it just doesn't look like he's going to get it done against a very dangerous fighter from any position in Joel Alvarez. If Jacasey takes him down, Alvarez is very dangerous off his back. His kickboxing has gotten better. I don't see where Jacasey wins this fight. I think this could be close to the end of his career. So parlay those two guys. And there's some picks for a great, great UFC London card that I am jacked up for.
Okay, and it's going to be a special start time, too, so make sure that you know the start time. It usually starts earlier when it's in England and like 3 in the afternoon, something like that.
I think it's noon start.
There you go. Noon start.
Oh, by the way, Shane Falco. Nice job, guys. Sugar Shane Falco. Footsteps Falco. Everyone in the chat got it.
Are you done? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. You know, Counselor, he's bragging like he just did something, and everybody in the chat. You know, in the old days of the early edge, he would have given that away to somebody in the chat. But hey, who am I to say?
Nobody's perfect, Coach.
You know what? You're right. Nobody is perfect. By the way, Big Cheesy, yeah, literally off your back. Saying Roy's looking shaky on the. Stop it, Big Cheesy. Stop it. He's even par after one hole. All right, Counselor. I am sitting on my first round leader ticket from Tommy Fleetwood, and I'm feeling good. But I think sometimes we have lessons that we need to learn. And lately, in the last week or two, maybe the Padres are trying to teach us a lesson that they are back, that they are a really good team, and their pitchers are pitching really, really well. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, one thing that I've noticed with the Padres, especially before the All-Star break, they really looked listless. Like they just didn't look interested. And I know that's just a weird thing to say, but I didn't see anything coming from them. And honestly, I'm not sure I'm seeing a ton coming from the bats now. I mean, they won 2-0 yesterday. We should have won that first 5. The Blue Jays left so many guys on base, but I've actually got the other side of this one. I've got the Padres first 5 money line against the Blue Jays. That's going to be at Toronto. And really, it doesn't come down to the bats for me because I think it might be a wash on both sides, more or less. It's the pitchers. I mean, Blake Snell has been dominant lately, and Chris Bassett has really kind of been just okay. If you even want to give him that. Over his last 16 innings, which comprised 3 games, he's given up 22 hits and 8 earned runs. Go to Blake Snell with that same exact sample size. 3 games, 16 innings. He's only given up 11 hits, 0 earned runs. Oh, and by the way, 25 strikeouts in those 16 innings. It's been just pretty incredible. So I'm going to ride the first 5 here. This is a classic first 5 where I'm getting a good number with a team on the road, which generally you're going to get better numbers there because they're on the road. So give me the Padres first 5 money line, minus 118. It's minus 118 at FanDuel. I believe at DraftKings, it's minus 130. I like it there as well. Give me the Padres first 5. And then how about a little bonus here? The Barracuda is just teeing off. We have some groups that, of course, have not gone out yet. They're going to be teeing off over the next few hours. I've got 2 plays here, and it happens to include 2 of my 3 outrights that I gave out on the early wedge. If you recall, I had a Barracuda bonus. I gave 3 outrights just like last week with the Barbasol. One of those came in with Vincent Norman. Let's hope it's one this week as well. 2 of those 3 outrights are Chez Reavie and Peter Quest. I like them both in 3 balls. Chez Reavie, minus 105 over Richie Werenski and Brandt Snedeker. This is a very simple one here. Werenski and Snedeker are not playing well. They haven't played well in quite some time, and Chez Reavie is hot. He's a short hitter. That's not going to help him, but his approach and putting have been completely dialed in. I expect him to contend in this tournament. The next one, Peter Quest, plus 110. He was not one of my outrights last week. He is one of my outrights this week. I like this number over Matty Schmidt and Angel Hidalgo Portillo, because first of all, Hidalgo Portillo, the last time we saw him, I think it was at Corrales, where he lost almost 13 strokes to the field. Matty Schmidt just hasn't been very good. And I love what I'm seeing with Peter Quest with the ball striking and the short game. So plus 110 in this 3-ball, a very fair number. Give me Chez, give me Peter Quest, and give me the Padres first 5.
For those of you brand new to golf betting, it's a great way to bring the number down when you add in a third player. And Sia does a great job of finding a third player that just hasn't been informed. Brett Snedeker was out for a year or two because of injury, and he's just now coming back. Great to target him specifically in that 3-ball at the Barracuda. All right. The chat is popping today. Listen to Brock. Don't forget, give us a vote, maybe even 2, but also we want you to become a member. And right now, there has never been a better time to become a SportsLine member. Use the promo code TROPHY, and I'll give you the first month for, how about $1? Then after that, you're going to be playing with house money. Then it's only $10. Come on. I tell you all the time, it's the best value in all sports betting. But today, here's where we're going to catch the tickets. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. Sia Nejad, he's back. First 5, Padres money line minus 118. Then let's go to the Barracuda. Round 1, Chez Reavie. He's having a really, really good summer. Minus 105 over Richie Wawinski and Brent Snedeker. Wawinski, by the way, doesn't even control his own schedule. He only gets into the tournaments when other guys can't get in. He has not been playing well. Then Peter Quest, he's now becoming a household name over the last month or so over Matty Schmidt and Angel Hidalgo Portillo. Then M-squared. We're going to Cardinals on the money line. Very simple today, plus 110. Then Danny Brasco. These are all on Saturday. Special start time. Don't get shut out. We're going specifics. Tom Aspinall by submission plus 380. Paul Craig by submission plus 380. Then I'll have a little 2-leg money line parlay. This is the only sport that I endorse parlays all the time. You have to do it sometimes. Tom Aspinall and Joel Alvarez. You put them together, a nice little minus 119. Do not forget, later today, early edge in 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. More best bets for the night in sports. And download that CBS Sports app so you can get CBS Sports HQ. Me and the crib, we're going to be on all day long. But with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, M-squared, Chief, the counselor, Danny Brasco, the Snake, always on the 1s and the 2s. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about right here at the early edge. Good luck.